Saving Private Ryan. This movie changed the way we did war. You'd be hard-pressed to find a single war movie after Saving Private Ryan that didn't borrow heavily from its iconic battle scenes. From the very first frame of the Higgins boat crashing through the waves on its way to Omaha Beach, the blocking and direction were paramount in offering moviegoers an experience they had never seen before. While the action in this movie is top-notch, from the beaches of Normandy to the fictional town of Ramelle, there's one scene in this film that I think brings the entirety of it together and sets the stage for the final moments of the movie. Yes, what may seem like a small exchange between the titular Captain Miller and Private Ryan is actually an incredibly important moment on the subconscious of the viewer and their ability to both positively reflect on what they have seen and be ready to accept what's to come. First, a well-known piece of trivia about this scene is that Matt Damon was told to improvise it on the spot. This lends the moment and delivery to feel genuine. But what really makes this scene the glue that ties the before and after together is said outright in the dialogue of the scene.
You gotta think of a context.
Context. I distinctly remember the frustration of my friends I was watching it with and their reaction to when Private Ryan outright refused to go with the squad to the end. Sure, his explanation is very selfless, but try to remember where an average audience member is mentally when they hear this line.
Sir, I can't leave until at least reinforcements.
You got 3 minutes to gather your gear.
Let me give you a hint.
There's barely hardly enough of this.
2 of our guys already died trying to find you, all right?
Private Ryan speaks for his squad and the audience here. Afterward, Captain Miller and Sergeant Horvath have a one-on-one where Horvath expresses his desire to possibly do the right thing and assist Ryan in holding the town and completing his orders.
What if by some miracle we stay and actually make it out of here? Someday we might look back on this and decide that Saving Private Ryan was the one decent thing we were able to pull out of this whole god-awful shitty mess. That's what I was thinking, sir.
But even in this scene, Miller still seems unconvinced. The average audience member is too. A short pep talk isn't really going to justify the deaths of the 2 men who were under his command leading up to this point, and the possible loss of his entire squad in the following battle. After a montage of preparations, we're back with Miller and Ryan. And Ryan drops this bomb.
I can't see my brother's faces.
Then this one.
There was my oldest brother, Dan. With Alice, Alice Jardine. I mean, picture a girl who just took a nosedive from the ugly tree and hit every branch coming down. and Dan's got her shirt off. So he's working on this bra and he's trying to get it off, and all of a sudden Sean just screams out, "Danny, you're a young man, don't do it."
His little story is the first time in the entire movie that we see him as what he really is. A farm boy from the United States, caught in the biggest war in human history, who just wants to do the right thing. A boy with a family and childhood experiences that many people can sympathize with. He laughs a contagious laughter that fills the room, and you can't help but chuckle along as his elation at the memory of his brother's misfortune washes over him. And then he's struck with the memory of what once was. And with that simple line,
That was it. That was the last. Dan went off to basic the next day. That was the last night the 4 of us were together.
a bell goes off in Miller's head, as well as ours, that this is truly worth it. I also think the context of this story is important as well. It's not a tale of the family sitting down together at church or eating dinner at the table. It's the kind of thing brothers and sisters agree to never tell their parents until they're older. The sort of pact siblings make that brings them to a closeness that's in an entirely different playing field than the relationship they have with their parents. So it's no longer about the war, about revenge, or a mission to bring a sole surviving son back to his grieving mother. It's about the boy and the memories he possesses that will truly enrich his mother's memory of the children she lost, to give her a full picture of the brave young men she had brought up. As the distant rumble of the German war machine is heard, Miller springs to life, a renewed sense of purpose arriving in his heart mere minutes before he loses practically the rest of his squad, one by one, and consequently his own life. And for the sacrifice he puts forth in ensuring Ryan and his memories are able to return to his mother, all he asks in return is that Ryan earns it.
Earn it.
Earns it by spending the rest of his life being the boy we all got a glimpse of in a scene not talked about.